You join me here in the garden, once again taking apart a bike that was finished 5 minutes ago, and I've decided I'm not quite happy with it and I want to rebuild it. Today we do something I'm quite excited about doing, which is essentially completing the dad bike, and not just any dad bike, the ultimate dad bike, my KONA Ute, that has possibly been a crowd favourite, like the most popular bike that's been on my channel. And today's video is brought to you by Fitvil, but more about them later. For those of you that don't know what this bike is or haven't seen any of these videos yet, there is a playlist on my channel called the KONA Ute, I think, and it shows a breakdown of this bike build, because it has essentially taken me a year and a half, maybe almost 2 years. It's taken a very long time. Mainly being the fact that I decided to paint it and then I bought a cargo bike. So it was probably been just over a year. And then I decided I didn't really need that bike too much because my daughter's quite small. I wanted to enclose her in a cargo bike. So that's what I did. Now the kids are very big and they fight a lot in the cargo bike. So I am starting to use this thing. So I needed to pull it out and rebuild it, which I did maybe a month or so ago now. I'll be very honest with you, when I bought this bike and started building it up, I thought it was cool, but like I wasn't that into it. I was never that invested in the bike. It was just another bike that just seemed as more of as a tool than like an actual bike that I was going to be really in love with. You guys, on the other hand, have been obsessed with it. It's been my most popular bike for sure. So much so that KONA themselves have seen it, saw the whole thing, and featured it on their website. I'll scroll it across the screen now, but this was the post they did about me on the bike. It's something that they do called Dream Builds, which was essentially a blog of all people with their different KONAs, build them in different ways. And they sent me over a patch for the Dream Build, a sick t-shirt, some socks, a hat. I think that was it. But like, it was pretty good recognition to be like, hey, look, we really like your bike. Thanks. Like it blew my head off. It blew my head off. I really was quite blown away by it. But sometimes it takes someone to kind of like actually give you a bit of feedback of one of your builds. Sometimes someone needs to be like, oh, that looks really good the way you've done that, for you to kind of really kind of like understand what you've done. Sometimes you've just kind of gone full in and built something that you weren't really sure about, and it takes you guys sometimes to reassure me that I did okay. So having you guys really like those videos and also KONA like them made me realize, yeah, this is the bike. So today there's a few little things that I want to change on it. There's a few things that I was never sure about in the build that I want to finish, and a very special custom one-of-one frame bag that a friend of mine has built for me, which I'm going to have some footage of that today as well. But first, what was I doing with those handlebars? So these are the handlebars I had on it when I first finished the bike, which are the Ritchie Coyotes, which are one of my favourite, if not my favourite handlebar. Problem being, the steerer is so short, I think cut, that the handlebars are too low and it's not comfortable. Subscribers of the channel, and if you don't subscribe, maybe you should, will know that these spank bars were on my wife's cute itty bitty. I've just rebuilt that, or at least a cockpit for that, so that's a video coming in the next few days as well. But these bad boys are super high rise, so they should, in theory, solve the problem. They haven't got any flare, which is something I usually like in a handlebar, but because they solve the rise issue, they should be the perfect solution for fixing this bike. The only other problem I really have is the front end is too light, so the plan is to put this thing on and two panniers and put bricks in it. Well, no, but just stuff in it, which in theory should bring the front end down, make it a bit heavier, which in theory would make it more comfortable and easier to ride. Problem is, the eyelets on this fork are on the other side, and this rack doesn't give you any other way of mounting it. I was hoping I'd use the two bolts that are on the fork, but I couldn't, so I'm just not going to put it on here for now. And that's it. That was all the things I needed to do on it. I'm not going to end the video there. Calm down. But I think I might mention this in another video that the brakes are kind of crappy on that I've put on here. They're just kind of cable actuated disc brakes, but the actual calipers. I don't know, I can't remember exactly what brand they are, but they're not good. They were kind of what I had and kind of what I could find cheap at the time. So yes, I probably will put some hydros on here, and I thought I was going to do it at this stage, but I didn't. I haven't, but I probably will. I've also just noticed that I have some fucking baby snot on me as well, so there's that. But now we're going to do a montage of my friend building me a bag. I was going to show you it first, but let's see him make it first before I reveal it. I wanted him to kind of do a bit of a voiceover and kind of talk about his process, but he thought that'd be boring, so let's prove him wrong. Tell him in the comments below. And he is actually currently working on 2 more bags for me at the moment. Would you like to see a full build video of how he makes his bags? I think you would. Let me know in the comments below, but for now let's see a montage of him pulling a very nice bag together for me. And here it is in the flesh, and I am so stoked on how it came out. It looks really good. So this is made by my friend Chris of Zola Works. I'm going to link his website down below. He has a few in stock kind of like bags and pouches that he does sell on his website, but his main game is these custom frame bags. This is a very strange shaped frame, so it was impossible to find one that fits. So Chris helped me out there, but not only that, he also helped me out with a little handlebar bag that matches, which I was also equally excited about. So yeah, please do go share some love with Zola, even if you just go over onto his Instagram and follow him and share some love there. Talking about sharing some love, this part of the video is sponsored by Fitvil. As much as I hate to admit it, I'm getting to that age now where things hurt after a while. I could stand for the whole day and not be a problem, but now my feet start to ache. Fitvil shoes come with a wide toe box, which makes it roomy and more friendly to wide feet. Most people nowadays might sit or stand for long periods of time, which might hurt some foot nerves gradually before you even notice. Therefore, a pair of supportive and comfortable Fitvil shoes seem to be helpful for them. There's a discount code down below, bikes28. This is going to give you 20% off, and there are some links to their websites depending on which country you're in. Thanks again to Fitvil Shoes for sponsoring this part of the video. You may have saw on Instagram me spraying the RC car. Well, that was to match this bike, and it kind of matches. I didn't film the process because it was kind of a side quest I didn't expect to happen, but I'm pretty happy with it. Comment below if you know what 559 references do. I've been running this Jack the Rack on this bike since I built it really, and it's been absolutely perfect for like grabbing those little shopping trip bags and things like that, but I think it suits more an RC car. Me and the kids have been driving this thing around. I mainly use it to chase them whilst they run around like crazy animals, wear them out ready for bedtime, but we take it around with us quite a bit at the moment, so it was nice to kind of get it mounted on the bike. But essentially that's it. We have now rebuilt it slightly. I mean, we changed the handlebars, added a couple of things, but I think this is now the bike that I imagined it would be when I first built it. Well, I suppose we should go and look at it. And that's that, and it's a little weird because I think I finally have fallen in love with this bike. Generally, when I build a bike, I know what I'm doing, I know kind of what parts I'm going to do, and I know what I'm going to like, and I just smash it out and it's done. But a lot of the bikes I do are kind of retro mountain bikes and kind of mountain bike-esque frames, ATBs, those types of things. This was a different animal, and it definitely took me a couple of tries before it made sense as a bike. It's obviously a very different looking bike, so it kind of makes sense, but I just didn't think about it at the time. But I've certainly gone through being in love with this bike, to not really sure what I'm doing with this bike, to not liking it at all, to now being well into it, to the point that like I've had to make some serious room in the shed to make this a permanent part of the fleet. And that's that. Thanks again to Fitvil for sponsoring this video, and a massive shout out to Zola Works for helping me with the bags. Let me know again if you want to see more bag content, because I'm trying to convince them to do some videos with me, because I think it'd be cool. Now, if you are new to the channel from this video, welcome. We do lots of bike related things around here, anything from reviews to tinkering to just being weird and fun on bikes. And to all the people that have been waiting for new stickers, I believe when I'm making this tomorrow, I should get a delivery of the new stickers, and they should be on the website now. These are the stickers. I'm just going to pop them onto the screen now. If you're interested in some new stickers, I have them. They're on the website, I think. If they're not, give it a couple of days and go back on there and it should be there. But the delivery, I've had a notification saying they're coming tomorrow, so I've been waiting for some time. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and if you are interested in this sort of stuff, subscribe to the channel is the best way to support me. This button here is the one to press, and if you can't wait until the next video, that one there is a particularly good one.